Money isn't everything, but it is a thing. Welcome back to another episode of the Transaction Care Podcast. Today's episode is all about what to do before you quit your job to be self-employed. Now, I'm speaking from experience. This is my 6th year being self-employed. Yay me, I feel like getting over that 5-year hump was almost like hiking the Rock of Gibraltar. But we are here, and I want to help you all that may be at your desk right now listening or on your way to your job thinking, man, I really want to quit this job this year, but what should I do? What should be my first steps? What should be my next steps? How should I prepare? Stay tuned. Bookmark this episode. You may have to listen to it more than once. You can also watch it on YouTube, youtube.com/transaction care. All of the links will be in the description. But if you are listening, thank you. Let's jump straight into it. Are you ready to quit your job, but you're afraid to take the leap? Believe me, I was leaping for a good 2 years. You can go back and listen to past episodes where I really break down the story of, my quitting story, but this is not about that right now. I want to provide you all with some actionable steps that you can take today to prepare yourself and provide you in your journey with more confidence, more clarity, more courage, more ease, all of my favorite words, and joy and fun. Because as scary and daunting and intimidating as this whole process can be, you can also make it fun. So let's just jump straight into it. I'm going to list them off and then we'll talk about them. So if you have a journal, break out the notepad, the journal, take notes. Unless you're driving, like I said, save this episode, download it, and come back to it again and again and again and again. And share it with a friend if you know someone that's in this situation right now that may need some, extra guidance or clarity in this situation, or someone to help coach them through it. Let's do it. Consider this your free live coaching session with me, Lillian Hernandez, aka Lily like the flower, because we are learning and growing together. Okay, it's 6 steps again. Let me just give them straight to you. Number one, number one, learn yourself. Number two, 3 to 6 months of reserves. Number three, quit day. Number four, make sure I have health insurance. Number five, network, network, network. Number six, and finally, let go. All right, so let's jump straight into step number one, learn yourself. This was by far the best thing next to saving money I could have ever done for myself prior to quitting. As I mentioned, I was leaping for 2 years, but that's because I was stuck in my own hamster wheel, right? But because I chose the year before I quit my job to really just do things differently. Instead of driving to work, I was taking the bus. I was walking during my lunch breaks instead of eating in the lunchroom. I was listening to podcasts instead of listening to music. I was reading instead of just sitting and watching TV. I had to change my habits. I had to understand, who am I in this next phase of my life? Even before I had the language and was able to articulate it, there was definitely a point in my life where I had been very stagnant, complacent, scared, all of those things that I'm pretty sure many of us still experience to this day, because I definitely still experience these feelings today. But I definitely can say I'm able to manage them a lot better. I'm aware of who I am in these certain situations, or the questions I can ask myself when I'm ready to step outside of my comfort zone. So because of this, I was able to learn how to self-assess, audit my life, question the norms and the narratives, break generational curses, and again, be outside of my comfort zone. That a complacency is where I was for a good decade. And I didn't realize I was there until I stepped out of it. And sometimes we got to shake the table again, change our course and our path and take a different route, talk to different people. But I'll get into that in future steps. But these were a few questions I asked myself and continue to ask myself when I am in a space of restlessness or I'm ready for a major change or shift in my career. Who am I? Who am I with or without this job? What do I enjoy? How does my personality align with my work? How is my energy before, during, and after work? A majority of the time. Am I willing to start fresh? Knowing what I know now, where can I take these skills, this level of education, this knowledge, and apply it in the next phase of my life? These are pretty serious and deep questions, but I want you to take time to answer them on your own. Not all at once. You don't even have to answer all of them. These are certain questions that I ask myself periodically, generally monthly, quarterly, just to really tap into who am I? I mean, where am I right now? How are things going for me? And if you're in a place where you're ready to quit your job, but you're not sure how, or you're possibly paralyzed by fear, just ask the simple question, who am I with and without this job? You'll realize how much power you have as you work through these types of questions and exercises. And that's the importance of doing these, is to feel more empowered and to understand your power truly and to recognize it and allow it to flourish. So, but speaking of power, the next step I want to get into, which I definitely mentioned in my last episode titled, If I Started a TC Business in 2024, I do this. And I will continue to discuss the importance of money in any situation. So having 3 to 6 months of reserves is definitely number 2 on the list, because having 3 to 6 months of reserves will provide you with a different level of confidence many of us aren't that familiar with. And before I dive deeper into this topic, I do want to let you know that, and be assured, this is a lot of money, and it will require a new level of discipline in your life and something you may not be accustomed to. And it will be tempting to give up, to feel overwhelmed, or even intimidated by the entire process. But I will say, money isn't everything, but it is a thing. A thing I am willing to work hard for, save, invest, spend, budget, and share, because that is how the majority of this world works. And we all deserve to enjoy the fruits of our labor, as well as that ease of having a runway and reserves, because we will all experience those times when money right now just isn't enough. But thankfully, I have I have that freedom fund, that emergency savings account, those reserves, the runway, whatever you choose to call it. I guarantee you will feel a sense of relief and confidence knowing it's there. It can also serve as a cue in your life, like, oh crap, I'm cutting it too close to using my reserves. Let me explore some new ways to earn more income. Or maybe, is it time to use them? That's what they're there for. And like I discussed in the previous episode, 2023 was one of those years where I did have to tap into the reserves. I dreaded it. I did all I could to not go there. But I will say I'm so grateful I had it, because I really was able to, it bought me more time and clarity, and I was able to just relax and let go of some of that tension for another month, to just breathe and think about my next moves and take action, immediate action. Because I knew that the things I was planting in that moment, in those minutes, in those months, whether it was creating a month's worth of content, upping my email newsletters, putting myself out there, purchasing ads, whatever it was, buying myself that additional month to just breathe and relax and not stress, it was really important for me to, and I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I'm kind of at a loss of words, because I'm still processing 2023 in terms of finances. And again, I'm still learning as I'm going and as I'm growing, because you don't learn everything all at once. Even in my 6th year, I'm still learning different ways to learn to save and invest my money passively when I'm not present, whether it's through different savings accounts, investment accounts. investing in other assets. So money is a sensitive and can be taboo of a topic, but it's something I'm working diligently and I value to help people. It's a topic that I want to normalize more, especially with Black and brown women of color. You know, money brings power if used right. You know, I just finished watching Griselda, and then without getting into too much detail, sometimes that power can be abused, is all I will say. But if you learn and build a relationship, much like knowing yourself, if you create a foundation for yourself and learn and understand and respect and appreciate the money you have currently and will have, and trusting and having faith that it's abundant, it's this different level of confidence that I can't express until I can't fully express until you actually experience it. So we can talk more about money. I know, again, it can be taboo, it could be a tough topic, but it's definitely something I'm willing to normalize and provide a safe space for those that may be uncomfortable to actually discuss it. Whether you have a negative bank account or a bunch of money you just don't know what to do with, or maybe you're somewhere in the middle where you have enough. And that's okay. I had to learn how to have, I had to learn what was enough for me. Let's move on to our next topic. Quit day. April 1st was my official quit day in 2018. And the day I knew I would wake up, stay home, not get in my car or get on BART to go to work, it would be day one of my birthday month and also my new life. Having a quit day makes it real. It applies the necessary pressure to work towards your desired outcomes, to remain disciplined, focused, and aligned. Had I not made that executive and very personal decision, I would probably still be at my job, miserable or worse, underpaid and undervalued. We don't want that. So whether you're quitting your job to be self-employed, to get another job, have that quit day, make it real, and trust yourself. Things will align. Number 4, health insurance. This was a personal choice. Everyone's different. But in order for me to feel 100% secure about my decisions, I needed to know I had enough money to pay for health insurance on a monthly basis, or however they were planning to bill me. I have had way too many surgeries from accidental injuries to know that if I'm going to do this on my own and be self-employed, I need to be covered just in case. So I needed to give myself that ease, and getting health insurance and having that, whether I used it or not, I had to learn how to get insurance, where to get insurance, budgeting, getting the right plans. And it is overwhelming. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I made a bunch of phone calls until I was able to get in contact with the right person. And that relieved so much, if not all of my angst around this entire process of getting health insurance. But for those quitting their job to be self-employed, consider health insurance options and what that looks like for you moving forward and in your budget. Next up, number 5, network. Networking, test the market if you're going to quit to be self-employed. When you're doing your numbers and your budget, know how much you need to pay to survive day to day, month to month. Take that larger number, then reverse engineer it. Maybe you need to side hustle until you're ready to go full time, or if you're ready to leave and take that leap of faith into the full time, write down how many closings, clients, etc., that you'll need to reach your financial goal. So then times that by 10 and reach out to that many people minimum on a daily, weekly basis, and see who is willing to hire, train, mentor, coach, etc. But networking goes a long way. Update your LinkedIn profiles, your Indeed profiles, anywhere where there are job listings and places to put yourself out there, joining Facebook groups, again, attending events. I can go on and on about networking, but at the very basic level, what is the next step you want to take, and who are the people you need to talk to, align with, have meetings with, watch their content, read their books as you're taking action. So take that into consideration, but networking is very important, even before you quit your job. The next and final step, this is a big one. And again, please bookmark this episode because this may not be a topic that you can relate to right now. Perhaps you know someone in this situation and you'd like to share this information with them. Copy and paste the link and send it to them right now, unless you're driving. Be safe. So step number 6 is let go. What do I mean by let go? Well, you've taken these preliminary steps towards your quit day. Now is the time to start letting go of the past, shedding old versions of you, and learn to accept your new current reality. Allowing more space for new blessings, clearer paths and visions, living with less tension or such a tight grip on the unknown, and fully trusting yourself, God, and the process. And of course, doing the work. Future you will be so grateful. And I can't stress that enough. Throughout my process of, it was bigger than quitting my job. I'll definitely admit that. I knew my life was going to change. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew in my gut, in my intuition, my heart, my soul, something was pulling me in a different direction. And I started to experience conflict at my job amongst my friends. I lost so many friends that we just stopped talking, or we had fallouts. People at my work seemed to be turning their back on me. And I'd been there for over a decade. Everything just in my realm of work, and even in my personal life, things were changing. And had I not embraced that moment, as scary and as uncomfortable and as sad as those times were, I'm glad I endured that. And I had to learn how to let go and trust, if this person or these people are meant to be in my life, they will come back, or I will put in the effort to maintain or rebuild these new, these relationships. But unfortunately, things didn't happen that way, and I had to let go and move forward. And that's life, right? So the same can apply for your work, whether you've been there your entire life, your entire adult life, maybe it's your business. I don't know what your situation is, but letting go and shedding those layers, those old layers, and those, what brings you stress, who brings you stress, is all a part of the growth. And learning yourself, including who you are in, how do you manage your emotions and your feelings in these situations when you're under stress, having, pressure. How are you letting go of some of that pressure? How are you able to ask for help? How are you able to have serious conversations with people and communicate and not bear all of that weight on your shoulders, which can cause sickness and discomfort and lack of sleep? So learn to let go of some of the negativity and even the good stuff. Like, it's happened. Now, how can we move forward with this new information without constantly having to start over or be stuck? But these are just a few tips that I wanted to share with you all. If you're considering quitting your job, or even quitting transaction coordination, or selling your business, getting rid of your business, wherever you're at in your career, I hope these 6 steps have helped you. Please definitely share this episode with a friend. And bonus, for those still listening and are interested, I have a workbook that I'm releasing at the end of Q1. I'm holding myself to that. This is the first time I ever gave myself a release date. So I guess we can say that is April 1st, my birthday month. But I'm releasing a workbook, and I'm not going to say the name or anything about it right now, but go to transactioncare.com, join my email list, because that is where I will be sharing the first few pages for free, but only to those that are part of my TC community and receive my TC Wisdom newsletter, meaning you've gone to my website and signed up, added your full name and email to my list. and you are a part of this journey, because I want to help as many of you as possible, but I want to make sure you're in it to win it, that we are serious about this journey. And any information I can provide and share with you all, whether it's for free or for sale, I'm putting it out there, because you know why? You'll hear it in the outro. But transactioncare.com, please go check it out, join the email list, and look out for the email with the first few pages of the workbook coming soon, Q2, maybe sooner if you're lucky. But this is an exercise in trust for me, and faith and commitment. I've been wanting to work on a workbook or some sort of digital download for you all that would make this process, whether you're an aspiring TC, a brand new TC, or even a seasoned TC. This is a workbook that can be applied to any stage of this career path that you're on, or even any field of work. Outside of transaction coordination and coaching, I like a lot of other things. I love traveling, I love eating, and how can I build a brand around that? So I'm applying the questions and the work I'm putting in this workbook into my life outside of transaction coordination as well. Even when I was starting my coaching business, these are the questions I asked myself. This is the work I put in. It's pretty simple and to the point. And I feel like answering these questions and getting to know yourself, building your relationship with money, learning how to let go, all of these things will help you bridge the gap between your dreams and your reality. So again, go to transactioncare.com. You can also listen to past episodes there. Join my email list. It's the best way to communicate with me, as well as get discounted rates. And many, many, many great things to come. Announcements, who's going to be on the podcast, when new episodes drop, if I'm releasing maybe merch, so many good things coming up. But I hope this episode helps you or resonates with you. And if you have any questions, or if there are any topics you would like for me to discuss on the show, you can email me, tc@transactioncare.com. I'm pretty responsive. If you don't hear from me, it probably went to my spam, but even then, I'm checking that pretty frequently. And if I didn't get it, you probably didn't send the email. And social media, I'm on there very frequently. I manage it right now. If you are someone that wants to help and be a part of my team, send me an email and we can figure it out from there. But I would love to build my team in 2024. So if you have experience with editing, mostly editing, let's be real, I need an editor badly for the podcast, even for YouTube. But I am on social media at Transaction Care. It's easy. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't use X or Threads, but I am on there. If that's your ministry, send me a message and I'll converse with you on those platforms. But please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will be getting a lot more visual content from me and more of a behind the scenes, day in the life content of being self-employed, working as a transaction coordinator, working in this ever-changing real estate industry, as well as my own personal journey with real estate, whether it's home buying, renting. You're going to get a full behind the scenes look into that world of mine that I will be sharing for the first time ever. But until then, please subscribe, listen to past episodes. I appreciate you for listening this far into this episode. And until the next episode, my name is Lily. Oh, my name is Lillian Hernandez, aka Lily, like the flower, because we are learning and growing together. And until the next episode, I'm giving you the keys. There are no gatekeepers here. Care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon.